So what do you want?
This. There are never enough walls to cover your back.
The film opens on a vast, desolate field, where a man, trembling with fear, pleads for forgiveness. The imposing figure overseeing the scene is Bejo, a self-made gang leader from Jakarta. The man he holds captive is revealed to be Andy, visibly bruised and battered from his ordeal. Bejo launches into a scathing lecture about ambition, contrasting Andy's reckless aspirations with the wisdom of Tama, who understood his own limitations, an insight that earned him Bangun's respect. Months earlier, Andy had been given a glimmer of hope but chose to align himself with Bangun instead of Bejo. As Bejo concludes his tirade about ambition and the consequences of overstepping one's bounds, he coldly commands his right-hand man to execute Andy. The narrative shifts to an undisclosed location where Rama, Bu, and Lieutenant Yu are seated with Bun Arwar and two of his associates. Bun Arwar, a determined police officer, is resolute in his mission to bring both corrupt officers and criminals to justice, no matter the cost. He instructs one of his men to take Bu to the hospital for treatment. Once Bu has left, Bun Arwar turns his attention to Yu, ordering his other associate to kill him. Despite Rama's desperate attempts to intervene, Yu is shot 4 times, falling lifelessly to the ground. Anger surges within Rama as he confronts Bun Arwar, arguing that he had evidence that could have testified against Yu. However, Bun Arwar dismisses this claim, explaining that the evidence is insufficient and that his corrupt unit is merely a small faction within a larger system. He warns Rama that both his life and his family's safety are at stake and urges him to join an undercover team aimed at dismantling police corruption. Later, Rama and his father mourn the loss of Andy, a tragedy that ultimately sways Rama to accept Bun Arwar's offer for protection. As part of the arrangement, his family is relocated to a safer place. During their meeting, Bun Arwar reveals that Bejo was responsible for Rama's brother's death, but Rama already knows this truth. Bun Arwar cautions him that if he refuses the offer, Reza and his men will come after him and his family. He instructs Rama to focus on Bangun from Indonesia and Goto from Japan. Tama had once reported to Bangun until his downfall. Bun Arwar's first directive is for Rama to get close to Yuko, Bangun's son who is currently incarcerated. To gain Yuko's trust, he must first attack the son of a politician who is an enemy of Yuko, which would lead to his own arrest. Rama agrees and embarks on the mission. Before long, he finds himself behind bars, sitting in a cramped toilet stall when a group of men begins to violently attempt to break down the door. A fierce struggle for survival ensues. Later at lunchtime, while trying to eat at a random table, Rama encounters Yuko, who approaches him with a mocking laugh, knife in hand, acknowledging the damage Rama inflicted on his right-hand man, Benny. Concealing his true identity, Rama introduces himself as Yuta. Intrigued by Rama's display of strength against 15 of his men, Yuko extends an invitation for him to join his side in exchange for protection within the prison walls. However, Rama politely declines and walks away. The following day during visiting hours, Yuko meets with Iko, one of his father's subordinates. Iko suggests that Yuko should consider additional protection due to the constant threats against his life. Yet Yuko expresses an interest in the newcomer, Rama, whom he knows as Yuta. Iko informs him that Rama is just a nobody with no connections and a clean record. Meanwhile, Rama learns from one of Underworld's men that he will now have to serve 2 years in prison instead of just a few months due to the wrath of a politician. One day in the prison yard, as rain pours down, the inmates huddle together for warmth. Rama observes prisoners on the other side signaling discreetly to one another while passing around a makeshift knife, a sign of brewing tension and potential danger within the prison walls. Before long, Benny and 2 of his associates approach Yuko, who is seated a few spots away, launching a fierce assault against him. Rama retaliates and attacks them. Yuko endures multiple blows, and just as he nears unconsciousness on the ground, Benny moves in to deliver the final strike. In a moment of intervention, Rama steps in once more, saving Yuko and nearly killing Benny in the process. However, a guard swiftly knocks Rama out, but not before he captures Yuko's attention. Fast forward 2 years, Rama is finally released from prison. As he steps outside, he notices a wire tucked into his jacket and quickly tears it out. Waiting for him is Yuko, who had orchestrated his early release. Yuko takes Rama to meet his father, Bangun, who wishes to express his gratitude personally. Upon arriving at Bangun's residence, Rama finds himself amidst a meeting between Bangun and Goto, where they discuss Bejo's growing influence. Bangun instructs Ika to thoroughly inspect Rama's clothing. After finding nothing suspicious, he accepts Rama into his fold. Rama is then provided with new attire and a luxurious penthouse to reside in. As Ika shows him around the penthouse, he cryptically remarks, "We come from the same world." Once alone, Rama cranks up the music and uses a hidden SIM card to call Bunarwar. Angrily, he tells his boss that the wire nearly cost him his life and insists on taking charge of his own operations moving forward. After the call, Rama reaches out to his wife, asking to hear their son's voice for a while. The following day, Yuko, Ika, Rama, and 2 other henchmen visit an underground film production facility to demand payment. The leader, Topan, refuses to pay up an additional 5,000 after being caught importing drugs. When one of Topan's men reaches under the table for a concealed shotgun, Rama swiftly intervenes. He corners Topan in a separate room and mercilessly beats him but stops just short of delivering a lethal blow. Meanwhile, Yuko presses his father about when he can take on more significant responsibilities within the organization, hinting at his desire to eventually take over. Bangun responds that Yuko isn't yet ready for such a role, igniting frustration in Yuko. Later that evening at a club, Yuko becomes intoxicated and begins mistreating two female employees. After a heated argument, Rama steps in and instructs the girls to leave. Once alone with Yuko, he attempts to reassure him that his father will eventually acknowledge his value. During this conversation, Yuko's phone rings, prompting him to step outside for the call. Seizing the moment, Rama discreetly slips a wire into Yuko's wallet. Meanwhile, Bangun meets with Prokhoso, one of his most trusted hitmen who disguises himself as a homeless man. Bangun hands Prokhoso an envelope detailing a new target. Later, Prokhoso is seen sitting by the curb with his machete at his side, patiently awaiting his target's arrival. Cornered at a dead end, Prokhoso ruthlessly impales the man with his machete, successfully completing his mission. One night, the identity of Yuko's mysterious caller is revealed as Bejo. Bejo aims to provoke a war between Bangun and Goto, intending to seize control of both territories afterward. During dinner with Yuko, Bejo appears practical and unconcerned with history or tradition. As a show of goodwill and commitment, he presents Yuko with 5 former prisoners, including Benny, allowing Yuko to execute them all. Just before killing Benny, Yuko notices a distinctive tattoo on his wrist. Benny casts a glance at Bejo, who remains unfazed before resigning himself to his fate as Yuko takes his life while ignoring any suspicions about the tattoo. Bejo asserts that to truly destabilize Bangun's family, they need to eliminate a trusted member rather than just foot soldiers. When Yuko questions this strategy, Bejo confidently assures him that he already has someone in mind outside. Unbeknownst to them, Rama has been listening intently to their entire conversation and watches as Yuko and Bejo shake hands before departing separately. Rama is taken aback by the shocking revelation of Yuko's new alliance, his heart seething with anger as he recognizes the man responsible for his brother's death. In a quiet restaurant, Prokhoso encounters his ex-wife, who harshly berates him for the life he has chosen as an assassin. Longing to see his son, he pleads for a glimpse, but she flatly refuses, leaving him devastated. Later, Prokhoso receives a message from Yuko, prompting him to leave the restaurant prematurely. They meet at a club, where Prokhoso advises Yuko to exercise patience with his father, reminding him that he harbors the same fierce ambition within. When Yuko steps away to use the bathroom, Prokhoso pulls out a locket containing a picture of his son, staring at it wistfully and lost in thought. Suddenly, he becomes aware that the club is emptied around him. The doors burst open, and a group of men, clearly Bejo's henchmen, storm in and attack him. As Yuko rushes outside to witness the chaos, both he and Prokhoso spot Bejo's assassin leaning against a car across the street, with Bejo seated inside. A chilling realization washes over Prokhoso: Yuko has betrayed him, allowing Bejo to orchestrate his demise. Accepting his fate, he clutches the locket one last time, drawing strength from the image of his son. The assassin approaches him and finishes the job. Meanwhile, at Bangun's headquarters, Yuko concocts a story that Prokhoso was killed by Goto's men from Japan. He demands retribution from his father, but Bangun refuses, unwilling to jeopardize the fragile peace between their families. Rama enters and is tasked with calming Yuko down. However, despite his best efforts, he fails. Undeterred, Yuko contacts Bejo and instructs him to proceed with their plan, disregarding Bangun's objections. Bejo then orders his 3 assassins, the one who killed Prooso, Baseball Batman, and Hammer Girl, to hunt down specific targets within Goto's family. In a chilling scene, the assassin brutally beats his target in a field while Bejo observes coldly as the target begs for mercy. Meanwhile, Hammer Girl takes out her target on a train filled with 10 of Goto's gangsters with ruthless efficiency. Elsewhere, Baseball Batman uses his bat to slaughter Goto's goons before confronting his intended target.
Give me the ball. That was a mistake.
The narrative shifts back to Rama, who hails a taxi to return to Bangun's headquarters. The atmosphere appears calm until a group of attackers ambushes the vehicle, killing the driver in the process. Rama narrowly escapes and dashes into a nearby restaurant, where he engages in a fierce battle with multiple assailants. After the fight, he notices one of them wearing police identification, revealing that the attackers are corrupt officers working for Rez. In a crucial meeting between Bangun and Goto, both leaders are pressured to either mend their truce or disband their families by force. Bangun agrees to take full responsibility for his son's actions, infuriating Yuko. When Rama returns to his penthouse to treat his wounds, he angrily calls his boss, demanding to be pulled out of the operation. His boss hesitates, insisting that the job isn't finished yet. Frustrated, Rama hangs up, realizing that his mission has become significantly more complicated. Just then, Iko, Bangun's assistant, urgently calls Rama to come to Bangun's place immediately. Bangun then instructs Iko to prepare for a meeting where he intends to sell his land to Goto and his family. Suddenly, Bejo and his men burst in to confront Bangun. Tearfully, Yuko begs for his father's forgiveness. In a fit of rage, he pulls out a gun and shoots Bangun dead. Bejo seizes the weapon from Yuko and prepares to kill Iko when Rama arrives just in time to fight off Bejo's henchmen and save Iko's life.
I can run!
In a troubling turn of events, the assassin easily overpowers Rama, prompting Bejo to instruct his men to take him away. As they drive off, Rama finds himself trapped in the middle of the car, while Iko speeds towards them in a desperate chase. Inside the vehicle, chaos erupts as a fierce struggle breaks out. Iko fights valiantly, taking down several of Bejo's men but sustaining injuries in the process. Seizing an opportunity, Rama opens the trunk and leaps into Iko's car just as a truck collides with their pursuers, sending them crashing. Meanwhile, in Goto's office, the news of Bangun's death and Reza's betrayal ignites a fury within him. Enraged by Bejo's involvement, Goto demands that Bejo be killed immediately. As he prepares to voice his grievances about Reza, his translator Ryuichi reveals a shocking twist: Bangun was slain by Yuko, who has allied himself with Bejo, and that Reza is currently in their company. Alarmed by this treacherous alliance, Goto resolves to take decisive action. He declares war on Bejo and Reza, insisting that everyone connected to them, including Bejo, Yuko, Reza, and their gang, must be eliminated that very night. At a desolate location, Iko pulls over and confides in Rama that he knows he is an undercover cop, admitting that he has been one as well. Bleeding from his wounds, Iko warns Rama that the only way to end this conflict is to eliminate everyone involved at once. If Rama fails to act, he will be hunted for the rest of his life. After imparting this crucial knowledge, Iko steps out of the car and succumbs peacefully to his injuries. In the aftermath of their harrowing ordeal, Rama contacts Bunnerwar to inquire about Iko. However, Bunnerwar harshly berates him for providing faulty intelligence that cost 10 honest officers their lives and for going rogue. Mentioning the death of the commissioner, Rama urges Bunnerwar to keep his family safe before speeding off in pursuit of vengeance. Meanwhile, in a bathroom, Yuko shakes and cleans himself, grappling with the reality that he can never truly cleanse himself of the blood on his hands after killing his own father. However, his moment of reflection is shattered when he discovers a bug hidden in his wallet, leading him to realize that there is an undercover cop among them. He returns to the table where Reza and Bejo are seated, remaining silent throughout their conversation. Suddenly, one of Bejo's henchmen bursts in with alarming news: Rama has escaped custody and is now in the building. Without hesitation, Bejo orders his top assassins to hunt him down. As chaos ensues, Bejo accidentally drops his cane. Yuko glances down and notices a familiar tattoo, one he recognized on the wrist of a prisoner he executed. In that instant, Yuko realizes that Bejo was behind the attempt on his life in prison. Silence reigns until Rama bursts in and swiftly eliminates 2 guards. Bejo reacts quickly, grabbing a shotgun and handing one to Reza. However, Yuko intercepts it and kills them both. In a sudden turn of events, Yuko begins shooting at Rama, but Rama acts decisively and finishes him off. With Bejo, Reza, and Yuko all dead, Rama strides out of the room just as Bannerwar races to the scene. He then makes his way back into the warehouse where Keiichi and his men await him at the entrance. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more recaps. Until next time, have a wonderful day.